This weather is horrible. Welcome back to Dax.Overland. My name is Max, and in this week's video I want to answer a few questions and talk about the Iveco again. I also have a few questions, maybe you can help me. After traveling for almost a year in our self-converted G-Wagon, Danya and I decided to build a new rig from scratch, our Iveco VM90. And now is the time to apply all these things to the Iveco, build a habitation box and eventually hit the road again and live full time in it. Unfortunately, I'm still not done with the G yet, but I really didn't want to make another video on it. I think you saw enough of it, and it's day in, day out, always the same. Cutting out rust, welding it, painting it, and then it's always the same on the other side again. And also the weather is so bad, so progress is way slower than anticipated, and it's really slowing me down a lot, which is super annoying because I really want to work on this car again. Another thing that is a little bit annoying as well, the G videos do quite bad on YouTube. The statistics are actually quite good, the same as the Iveco, but YouTube doesn't show it to people. I can see that in the statistics as well. So I don't know if the pesky algorithm is already used to Iveco content and now doesn't know what to do with G-Wagon content, who to show it to or whatever. But that's a little bit annoying as well, I think, because the quality of the videos is not different to the Iveco stuff, in my opinion. But enough with the Mercedes stuff, let's talk Iveco. With this video I want to keep you up to date what's going on with the Iveco and answer a few questions. It's motor show season and we went to Abenteuer Allrad and also the Iveco meetup in hopes to find some answers that we needed. And we did find them actually. One huge question that we had was which panels to use and where to get them from. And I think we actually found a company that ticks almost all of the boxes that were super important for us. Those boxes are the weight. I think that's actually the most important thing besides money. But as I said before, we really want to get the car under 3.5 tons. I know it won't be easy, but I think it's possible. Another important point is the availability, that we can get panels this year so that we can build the box before winter. And the last important point about the whole box situation or panel situation is to figure out where to build the box, and depending on the location where we build it, to find a company that is not too far away, that we don't need to drive through half of Germany with those panels. And I think we found a solution for that as well. The Iveco meetup, on the other hand, was not about vendors or their products at all, but it was about seeing other people's builds. And the big 3.5 ton question, there were cars registered to 3.5 tons, and most of those cars fully loaded are more like 3.7, 3.8. But I think now the interesting part, all of those cars that were 3.5 tons, I could see some kind of things you could tweak to lose some weight. And I'm not talking about drilling out whatever bits around the car. I mean parts that were built and planned afterwards, like a spare wheel carrier or whatever. I don't want to say that it will be easy, but on all of those cars, I think I saw a few screws you could tweak to make it substantially lighter. The manufacturer we found at Abenteuer Allrad has a few really cool, innovative solutions. One, for example, they use thin outer layers of the fiberglass reinforced outer skin. I don't know what you call that. And therefore, to balance that thinner outer skin, they use the honeycomb structure beneath it. In theory, it should be really durable for like hits from tree branches, for example, but it's way lighter because that outer and inner skin make most of the weight of those plates. It's not the foam itself. And my highlight, it's an 88-gram cube, 88 grams. And that cube will most likely save us around 50 kilos in the overall weight of the box. So I really hope that price-wise it will be fine, but it seemed that it's okay. Because I think with that, compared to other cars that we saw, we could save quite some weight and hopefully get it within the 3.5 tons. One downside is that it takes them around half a year to produce the sandwich panels, and that was not how we planned. But I think with the solution that we found where we will build the box, weather is not as big of an issue anymore as we thought before, because we could heat that place. So we need to shuffle around the schedule a little bit, and then it should be still possible to build the box this year or end of the year and do other things before. So that's still great. Look at all of that welded stuff. I replaced this. I replaced this. I'm on the second inner fender right now, so this needs to be welded in. And here I'm almost done, and then the inner fenders are done. And I also prepped this one already, so it also only needs to be welded back in again. So I'm actually making big progress, but everyone who's done that before knows how much work it is and how time consuming it is. I hope I can work on the Iveco again soon. Now a few loose ends that are not tied back together again after all the videos I made. So the seats, I had questions about the seats. We don't have seats yet, but we are on it. We found really nice ones that we really like actually. It's from G-Wagons, also a military version that was in the back, and it has a 3-point belt, but there are not a lot offered. And the guy we contacted so far, it was a back and forth over weeks. It's not easy. He told us that we should wait a few more weeks and then he should have time. I just want to buy his seats. So it's really complicated. But hopefully, maybe this month we will have seats. But be reassured, you will see it here. I don't really do anything off camera, so everything is kind of live in a way, because I don't do it for long enough that I have videos laying around. The opposite is the case. I'm kind of struggling every week to get this video done, especially with those really time consuming tasks like the welding, like welding for 40 hours and then cutting a video, but I need to weld for 40 hours basically to have material for a video. So you will see it here first, promised. Then I got asked about the name a few times. Why Dax.Overland if my name is Max? So it's Danja and Max, Dax. And it was our Instagram channel's name before, and Danja is not on here that much, but still I took the same name. And I also think once we get going and traveling, Danja will be on the channel more, so it's Dax. Then, still open on my list from the last G-Wagon videos, why the windscreen wipers don't work anymore. This piece here started rotating on the motor's axle actually. So there's thin grooves in there and that started rotating. Actually, I haven't told you this story, I think. So a few weeks ago, Danja and I were driving the G and I engaged the windscreen wipers and the wipers were stuck to the screen. There was like a strange sound, but everything was working. But I was a little bit worried. And the day of the inspection, there were so many pollen on the screen, so I used the windscreen wipers and it worked. And then it's like a 15-minute drive to the place where they do the inspection. The guy goes into the G, drives it into the workshop and tells me, your windscreen wipers are not working. And I was like, what are you talking? You can clearly see that I just used them. And he was like, no, they're not working. So that one time that he used it, they broke. And now this thing new from Mercedes is 450 euros. They are insane. And I bought a used one now for 220, which is still insane, but which is not almost 500 euros. I guess for every other basic normal car, you probably pay 20, 30 euros. I have no idea, but I guess you don't pay 500 euros for a windscreen wiper motor. That's about the windscreen wiper motor. Another thing, a friend just told me, oh Max, you stopped with a huge cliffhanger and never resolved it. And he was talking about the back axle on the Iveco. If you haven't seen it, it's up there. Yeah, the back axle is fucked, I guess. Also, one of the wheels is quite loose and it doesn't seem like that kind of loose, like adjusting the bearing a little bit. So I think the back axle is fucked, but the cliffhanger will remain because that's also what I told him. There is not the necessity at the moment to fix it and I can't fix it myself. So we will wait until the car is allowed to drive on the road. And once that has happened, we will go to a workshop and fix the back axle. But for now, there's no reason because we can't use the car anyways. And I think there are other more important things in the grand scheme of things than having that issue fixed right now. So you have to wait a little bit longer until that cliffhanger will be resolved. So the new schedule for the build in a way, but probably we will change it a few more times. I will, once the G is done, I will start with the bodywork on the Iveco, fixing those glass fiber reinforced parts like the bonnet as a step of prepping for painting. I think Danja and I have decided on a color, but I won't reveal anything yet because I think we're not that sure. But that will be coming in the upcoming weeks. And I think maybe you can help me out. So the Iveco has like a kind of rubberized floor and also the wall behind the seats. And my question is, what kind of paint can I use on that kind of soft foundation? Because I'm scared that if I use a normal paint, it will crack super, super fast if I have a little rock or sand grain in my shoes and walk on the floor, that it just will push through the hard paint into the softer material beneath. So does anyone know what I can use there? So it would be great if you could help me with that, if you know what to do with it. And once all of that is done, hopefully by then we will have the sandwich panels and start building the box. So painting and bodywork first, then the inspection, so some technical things, and then 3, building the box end of the year. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next week. And please like and subscribe. The progress on the channel is so slow at the moment. It would be great if it could grow a little bit. So if you want to see the Iveco build, traveling afterwards, then like and follow, and see you next week for the next episode.